just socked this little jigging rapala. Man, did I hook him well, right through the upper jaw. Look, is that a nice perch?
Canadian Sport Fishing is brought to you by Rapala, premium fishing gear crafted from experience. Yamaha Outboards, reliability starts here. Dickies, guaranteed workwear since 1922. Lucky Strike, more fish bite with the Lucky Strike.
You know, there's just something about ice fishing. It's a real Canadian tradition. And as you can see, we're not too far out from shore. We're here on Lake Simcoe, and we had such a thaw yesterday. It was 10 above 0 Celsius, and there was so much water on the ice. So you can see a lot of the pressure cracks and all the ice chunks that are out here. And today, because it's a different day and the temperature dropped, all that water's gone, and we're out here trying to catch these fish. Now, one thing that I got to say, when you're going after panfish, it really helps to have a sonar so you can see when the fish are on screen. And you can see here that I've got a mark there. So what I'm going to do is slowly lift up, and when you get an active perch, just like that, it doesn't take long before you get him to hit. Now, even though a lot of the jumbo perch fishermen like to catch the biggest perch, I don't mind if they're like 9-10 inches, and I keep a lot of males. So here's a guy, he's head shaking. Look at this, he just socked this little jigging rapala. So I'm guessing that this guy is a male perch. He's about 9, almost 10 inches long, and you can see that he's got both hooks in his mouth. And I always tell people, you know you've got a decent sized perch on if you can grab him by the lower lip. So I'm going to see here if I can get the treble hook out. Okay, got the hook out. Now, you know, you might say that's not a huge fish, but you know what? For a perch, that's a good eating size. Whether you like to fillet your fish or just take the scales off, you get about 5 or 6 of those and you have a meal. Now, I'm going to get this guy back. I'll watch him, see if he knows which way to go here. Look at that, right down to the bottom. This is the little rapala, jigging rapala that we're using, and we're fishing in about 21 feet of water. So I'm going to lower it back down. And if you haven't noticed, it's really windy today. And we've got a lot of snow. This morning, we were going to head out on the ice at 7 a.m., but unfortunately, it was raining so hard that we couldn't. So we had to wait a couple of hours, and the rain changed to snow and sleet. Doesn't that sound wonderful? And now we're out here just having a blast, and I've got another fish on camera. Look at this. Let's see if I can get him to come up. Come on. Ah, he's being shy. This guy might be a little bit bigger. You know, it's so neat because I can see the fish and my lure on the screen. So I'm going to look. Oh, he went for it. I missed it. Going to lower my little rapala down. The key with these perch is to get him to come up off the bottom. And if you don't have a sonar, you have no idea what's going on down there. So I'm going to let that go to the bottom. And he disappeared. Rats! He went away. He was on to me. You know, a lot of people would get discouraged about coming out on the ice when you get into strong winds or you get water on the ice. But I have fished for so many years, and I just love to fish, that I don't mind what you would call adverse conditions. Look at this. Another nice perch. Bring him right up here. And I think this is another male. Now, you know, because he's hooked by that back hook, I just want to explain to you the lures that we're using. These little jigging rapalas work so well. And we're going to tell you a little bit later what we're tipping them with. It's a little plastic grub that works really well. So if I get about 8 or 9 fish that size, that's going to be a couple of meals. Look at this. Man, did I hook him well, right through the upper jaw. Isn't that a nice perch? Now, he might start swimming around. I'm going to leave him right there. And what I'm going to do is lower this line right down. and see if I can get another fish to hit. So we've got a really strong wind, and what I've done here, I've taken Rhino, which is the 4x4 that we've used to come out on the ice. Now I'll tell you, it's so good to have a dependable unit. This is actually a 4-stroke behind me, and I'm using it as a windbreak, and it's working really well. I've got Roger, he's in the portable hut over there, so we're kind of tandem. Now, because I didn't get a fish right away, watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put this rod down after I get it off the transducer. Okay, got it off there. I'm going to put it down for a second. Because it's not freezing, I think it's still around 0. It's okay in the water. What I'm going to do is take what I call my thumper. Okay, so what I've got here, this is an old ice fishing rod that had a broken tip. I've got heavy braid on here. This is about a 1 to 2 ounce weight, and I have a blade on there. Now you can imagine when I lower this down, those blades are going to really flash, that one blade. So I'm letting it free fall right down to 22 feet. Boom, hit the bottom. I'm going to lift up. I'm going to let it fall. Boom, hit the bottom, let it fall again. Boom. So I call it my thumper because what that's doing is actually hitting the bottom. And if it's soft like sand or silt, it's going to make a big puff of sediment. And the blades are spinning around. Then I'm going to reel it up. I'm going to put it back onto my machine here. It's kind of handy to have the machine right behind me. It's like an assistant. I'm going to get my lure, drop it down there. Now, if you look at the screen here, this is 0, and down here is the bottom. So you can actually see, this is an electronic readout. That's 24 feet. So we're not quite at 24 feet. This tells you the readout. It's 22.8 feet my depth. And this is my lure. You can see it. I'm jigging it up and down. So if a fish comes on screen, it's very easy for me to see it. And because these bars are moving here, that might be a perch that's somewhere in the area.
Dickey's Sport Fishing Sweepstakes.
I was out fishing with my dad and my friend. Me and my dad had just gotten a new boat, and we were trying out new parts of the lake. I was using a power worm, threw it out, and I started reeling in, and it came up and took the bait, and once I got it in, we rushed back to the cottage, and it was 17 inches.
We'd love to hear your fishing story. Go to our website and enter the Dickey's Sport Fishing Sweepstakes. It's free, and you could win some great prizes.